So 13 states in the United States need to thank to Saint Louverture. They need to thank Haiti. If it wasn't for Haiti, 13 states would not be formed. So the Napoleon fought to Saint for such a long time. He sold the Louisiana Purchase to Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, who hated Haiti's financing France, send them $300,000 so they could quash Haiti's slave rebellion, because he was worried about if Haiti's slaves were to be free, then maybe Thomas Jefferson would have to give up his slaves. So Thomas Jefferson's a fucking racist dickhead who wanted to hold his slaves, and so therefore he did not recognize Haiti's sovereignty. He did not recognize Haiti's right to exist. He also wouldn't. They were selling guns before, but then they stopped selling guns afterwards. So since Toussaint Louverture was able to postpone the war, Napoleon's war, since they fought for such a long time, Napoleon needed money. He sold the Louisiana Purchase to Thomas Jefferson. The Louisiana Purchase is a huge swath of land right in the middle of America, and you have 13 states who owe to Saint Louverture and Haiti a thank you for their very existence. They wouldn't be America. There wouldn't be Americans, and maybe if they didn't have the middle of the country, maybe we wouldn't have expanded all the way out west too. So maybe the majority of the country should thank Haiti. But the Louisiana Purchase included these 13 states. It included Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Minnesota. I said 13 and that was only 12. Maybe there's another one there. Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Minnesota. Well, I counted 13. I don't know if I just skipped one there, or so either 12 or 13 states. So those states should thank Haiti for their very existence. It took Abraham Lincoln to become president in order to recognize Haiti as a country. So America didn't even recognize Haiti as its own country until 1861. 50, 60 years later. So that's America's relationship in the very onset, at the very beginning of their existence. So we're fucking racist, white America's racist and shitty to Haiti as soon as they try to, as soon as they're being born, as soon as their nation is being created. So that isn't the only bad history that we have with Haiti. In more recent history, in the 1900s, within this century, we had occupied Haiti, which is a good example of what's going on now. There's an occupation happening right now. The Marines, United Nations, I think Brazilian troops, they are in Haiti right now. So there's an occupation going on right now, and I think we could study Woodrow Wilson's occupation, which lasted for 20 years. 1914 is when it was started, and in 1934 was when it ended. So exactly 2 decades, 20 years, is when America had occupied Haiti once before. So in 1914, the Democrat Woodrow Wilson sent Marines into Haiti. So there's Marines in Haiti now. He sent Marines into Haiti before. This is a good parallel to see how it all turns out. So 1914, Woodrow Wilson sends the Marines into Haiti, and then they steal $500,000, $500,000 from the Haitian National Bank in December of 1914 for safekeeping in New York, which gives the United States control of Haiti's National Bank. On July 18th, 1915, 330 United States Marines, including Captain Smedley Butler, were sent into Port-au-Prince, Haiti, under the racist imperialist Woodrow Wilson, whose racism is worse than Nathan Bedford Forrest. America carried out her imperialist aggressions under the racist imperialist Woodrow Wilson. Fuck you, Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson's the same motherfucker that put Eugene Debs into prison for 10 years for speaking out against World War I. He curbed freedom of speech because we're in this war of conquest, this imperialistic war. And he puts Eugene Debs into prison for 10 years just for talking out against it. So Woodrow Wilson lands Marines in Haiti in 1915, and the Marines stay there until 1934. Well, 1914 they were there first, but then the invasion was 1915, so it's about 19-20 years. So you have Woodrow Wilson, right? He's a dick. Puts Eugene Debs into jail. And then he starts this 20-year, 2-decade occupation. So you got a 2-decade occupation right now that's going on in Haiti in 1915 to 1934. So, and then even after 1934, after FDR pulls the troops out, America still controls Haiti's finances until 1947. So we still keep our tentacles, in the country. We still want, some type of control. So if we can't militarily occupy a country, then we try to do economic imperialism. So Captain Smedley Butler was sent in, Captain Smedley Butler said that it was all for the National City Bank boys. That's why he went into Haiti. So it's for the big bankers. We're protecting our bankers' interest. The Great Depression had forced FDR's hand to withdraw the troops and to bring them back home. Since we are having some economic problems here, perhaps we need to save some money and bring our Marines back home. Bring the Marines, not just from Haiti, but all over the world. We got 120 military bases all over the world. We're an empire. Clearly, we're an empire. So, since the FDR, the Great Depression forced FDR's hand to bring the troops home, maybe our economic woes can force Obama's hand to bring some of these troops home. Woodrow Wilson was a shitty guy. Fuck Woodrow Wilson. I hate this motherfucker. Woodrow Wilson's a shitty fucking person. He's a shitty imperialist racist. The first term he gets elected, he runs a re-election campaign because he kept us out of war. He kept us out of war. He kept us safe. That's why he won his second re-election. And then he gets right into war. So vote for Woodrow Wilson because he's the president of peace. He gets elected under the president of peace, declares war. Baby Bush, George W. Bush, Baby Bush, just like Papa and Baby Doc, right? So Baby Bush, he does the exact same thing. Baby Bush runs on a humble foreign policy. We don't need to tell the world what to do and why we're out there doing this and that. We just need to be, nice to everybody. He runs on a humble American foreign policy and then becomes fucking Napoleon. Then he becomes, Peter the Great. So, Woodrow Wilson's a shitty imperialist racist. He hated black folks. He segregated his administration. So, there was Reconstruction. There seemed to be all this great work. But then Woodrow Wilson is just reversing the tide of history. But he didn't just hate black folks. He also hated non-whites, any hyphenated Americans. He especially hated German Americans. He hated German Americans. He hated them. In fact, there were some Germans who lived in Haiti, and some people said that might have been a possibility of why he invaded them. It could have been just an excuse, too. But he was like, oh, the Germans are going to invade us from Haiti since there's a couple of businessmen that live in Haiti, which actually doesn't make any sense because that doesn't help their business to start a war. War is not big business for the people who own their own business. It's only big business for the state. So Woodrow Wilson is a shitty imperialist racist. Fuck Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson also ignored the Armenian genocide. So there's Armenian genocide that's happening in Turkey. Woodrow Wilson doesn't mind sending troops into Haiti. He doesn't mind sending troops to Europe. But in Turkey, when the Turks were slaughtering the Armenians, and they sent the Armenians into this trail of tears, into the unknown abyss in the Syrian desert to starve and die. They said that there was land out there for them, but there was no place. Turks just sent them out in the desert just to fucking starve off and die. And as they were walking in the desert, the Turk officials and government policy, because it was government policy to exterminate all the Armenians, either you had to pledge allegiance to Allah, or else, you'd have to leave. So Turkey kills all the men, and then they have all the babies and the women and the elderly walk out into the Syrian desert. And when they walk out into the Syrian desert, the Turkey military is robbing and killing them and raping them. You got all these Armenians out in the middle of nowhere, so Turkey officials are just doing these horrible things. Even today, Turkey doesn't even recognize that they had an Armenian genocide. But Woodrow Wilson said it was just a civil war, and sometimes you got to quell an internal threat. So these motherfuckers are such hypocrites. They're such fucking hypocrites. Now, Woodrow Wilson says it's okay to quell an internal threat, right? So when 2004, when the Tonton Macoute was taking over Gonaives and Cap Haitian, according to the nation-state theory, that the state has a monopoly of power, the Aristide could have killed all the Tom Macoute. Everybody that was in Gonaives and Cap Haitian, Aristide had the right to take over. He is the supreme ruler of the sovereign state. It's the Leviathan. Leviathan has all the power, so they can quash any type of rebellious groups that might come up. So Woodrow Wilson says that the Turkey can go ahead and genocide their Armenian population because he's a fucking racist and he doesn't give a shit. But also because he recognizes that he's in power, and if there was a rebellion or if there was something going on in his country, he'd want the power to be able to force his will on the population. So, there was no place. The Armenians just are taken out in the middle of nowhere to be robbed, raped, murdered. He said it was a civil war. It was horrible, but, there was an internal threat, so it's okay. Another example of Woodrow Wilson being a racist in The Birth of a Nation, D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation came out in 1915, which is the cause for the rise of the second Ku Klux Klan. The movie showed how the Ku Klux Klan saved the white people from the black folks after they were freed after the Civil War. So that was a revisionist history. Black folks were not taken over after the Civil War. They won some power positions. They had a majority in South Carolina legislature, but nowhere else. And so just because they were gaining access to power, that does not mean the whole society was flipped on its head. And that's the way they made it sound like. It made it sound like black folks got into office and they were making white people their slaves. That's not true. It was all racism. The Ku Klux Klan started attacking all the black people, and then Reconstruction failed once Rutherford B. Hayes pulled all the troops out in 1877. So the Birth of a Nation came back in 1915 to show how in Reconstruction the glorious KKK stood up and they saved the white people from the oppressive blacks. And Woodrow Wilson loved this movie, and he says, it's unfortunate all the events that happened, but unfortunately it's all true. He says that the movie is like writing history with lightning. So he recognizes the power of movies have on the imagination of the public. And after the movie was brought out, the second Ku Klux Klan was formed. Nathan Bedford Forrest did the first one, and then the second one was in the 1915s, 1920s. There was a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan. And lynchings happened, lots of times in America for 50, 60 years. 1877, I guess, until the 1950s. Since they couldn't be the slaves no more, we'll just fucking kill them, right? So, Woodrow Wilson, definitely a product of his times and shit, but it's fucking bullshit. I'm gonna judge him with my standards of today, and he's a fucking racist. He's a shitty fucking racist. He's an imperialist racist. And, writing history with lightning, he put Eugene Debs into prison for 10 years just for talking about it. He's a Führer. Woodrow Wilson wants to say, that Germany is bad because of whatever, like, Britain and Germany were fighting amongst each other, so why did he side with Britain over Germany? And I don't know. So, he lands the Marines in Haiti in 1915 in order to quash a popular uprising, in order to safeguard United States corporate interest. In order to achieve law and order, the United States massacred thousands of Haitians in 1915 under the direction of Woodrow Wilson, the racist imperialist pig. Woodrow Wilson also really hated that a small German minority owned and controlled a large part of Haiti's economy. German men married Haitian women to get around laws denying foreigners land ownership and establish roots in the Haitian community. The original Constitution said that no white people could own property or hold political power. So there's some Germans who went into Haiti, married Haitian women, and they're able to buy some land. So Woodrow Wilson invaded Haiti for business reasons, economic reasons, to protect U.S. assets there. Economics is all the fuck that Uncle Sam gives a fuck about, and Woodrow Wilson also was worried that the German businessmen who lived there was going to start a German invasion. And that that Germany would try to attack America from Haiti. So Woodrow Wilson's racist imperialist invasion ended with the Haitian American Treaty of 1915. They also added the Platt Amendment, so there was basically Haiti was an American protectorate, just like Cuba was in the early 1900s. It was their own country, but if we wanted to invade, we were allowed to. That was the deal that Woodrow Wilson made. The Articles of the Agreement created a Haitian gendarmerie. Essentially, it was a military force made up of Americans and Haitians, and it was controlled by the United States Marine Corps. So we signed an agreement with the Haitian, I guess, government. I don't even know who we're signing this agreement with, but the Marines are in control now of Haiti. 1915. The United States gained complete control over their finances and the right to intervene in Haiti whenever they want to. More coming up.